Hey everyone, welcome to Scott's RPG Reviews. I'm Scott Monkern. I got a book in just before Halloween and I wanted to review it. I thought it was an interesting one. It was the Dreams and Machines Emerta Valo Setting Guide. It's a really interesting additional source material and other stuff for Dreams and Machines, and I want to give you a quick review of it. So it's a hardcover 118-page book. When I first got the title, when I saw it, I actually paid for it and ordered it. I assumed it was just a setting guide, which I love setting guides. They're really useful. But this ends up being a lot more. In fact, the setting is not the majority of what it is. So the book contains 6 chapters. The book is hardcover, well-printed, color, pretty much what I expect out of a good Modiphius publication. Chapter 1 is the introduction, which basically says, here's what's in here. No big surprise. The content started chapter 2 with locations, which are short write-ups of 3 key locations in the region: the Deepwoods Archive, Alien Hill, and Pedro Tower. So it's good write-ups on those locations, and really interesting. It includes the history of the location, a description of the place, and in some cases the maps, also the people, and some stories for purposes of seeding it for an adventure. Then we go into, from the locations to the region of Emerta Valo, Chapter 3. It talks about Emerta Valo, includes a map and breakdown of a bunch of interesting locations. Less detail, but like short paragraphs on a bunch of locations. Then we have the city of Emerta, which is a map and locations of note within the city. And that's about 10 pages. That's all the settings information. So the settings information is actually only 37 pages of the 118-page book. So what else is in here that occupies these 118 pages? Well, we start with a chapter called Steel and Stone. Don't quite know why they called it that, but it's 2 new archetypes, more equipment, more rules, including a rule for what they call hidden truths, where you can have an additional truth that's hidden that gives you special flexibility and capabilities as well. So kind of a neat thing. And then that whole section on Steel and Stone is 50 pages of the book. So almost half, not quite half, of the book is actually these new archetypes and equipment. And it's also got new talents as well. So really useful. Then the last section is a complete new rule set called Urban Exploration, which is how to do hex-based exploration in Dreams and Machines. And that's about 15 pages. All of this is really good stuff. I really liked all of it. I thought the new archetypes were really interesting. The new talents were really useful. The region stuff is really good. It's a little shorter than I expected. I expected more, but it's still good stuff. There are only a couple of disadvantages or things I was disappointed at by the book. The first one is in the settings guide, in the settings section, those first 37 pages, there are a couple of maps that they printed that normally when I see maps inside a source material book, I expect there either to be maps at the back that I can quickly slap on a Xerox machine, or better yet, a lot of them these days have been putting in fold-out maps inserted in the back. Also a really common thing. Kind of a pain in the neck to Xerox the stuff that's there, and for players, I don't want to I have to Xerox and cut it so they don't see the source material as well. So, a little bit of annoyance, not frustrating. On the hex section, I kind of expected a hex map, and I went through it and checked. There's no example of using these hex rules on an actual map. I would have put in a hex map maybe, and I would have given some actual real-world examples just to show you how it worked. So, other than that, it's a really good book. It's relatively short. It's a fast read. I read it in about 2 hours, and that wasn't a skim. That was a full read. And so if you're a Dreams and Machines player, and you want to expand out the Emerta Valo region, or you want just the new rules for urban exploration or hex map exploration, and you want the new talents and archetypes, I would buy it just for that, even if I weren't interested in the Emerta Valo region. That's it. Everyone have a good day. We'll talk to you on my next review.